Ah, here we are. I'm talking with Jack Benny and Phil Silvers, which for me is hard to believe that I can be sitting here talking with Jack Benny and Phil Silvers. But I am, and I'm going to try to adjust to it.
Sometimes you can say Phil Silvers and Jack Benny. You can change it a little.
Oh,
yes. I don't mind
nice.
being a sack of banana, Jack.
No.
Not to the greatest.
Sergeant Bilko would never say a thing like that.
I think Sergeant Bilko's great quality was disdain for authority.
He certainly had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were so good, and those shows, every one of them looked like you'd had a month to do them. They just went like that. They were...
We rehearsed very hard. The late Nat Hiken, who I think was the most fertile comedy brain in the business, it was his creation. He, CBS put us together, and a little before that, I visited Jack at his house. I do not lie, only when it's safe, you know. But this, I mean, publicly I don't. And Jack had a cold. We were supposed to play golf. And I just closed with the show, and he said, Phil, they're going to be after you for television. Avoid it if you can. It's such a drain. Be a Broadway star. That has great dignity to it. And he meant it, and I took that as good advice. But then nothing presented itself. And CBS put Nat and I together, and his first idea he came up with was an army show, which I rejected. Because Nat was a bad talker, but a great writer. All I could see was Abbott and Costello kind of phony drills or something. I didn't see that we had a... You'd be surprised of all the shows, how little they had to do with Army life. We were in Army clothes, but we did. But anyway, he finally told it to me, right, and I did it, and we did all right. And then one year, the first year, we won 8 Emmys. We won everything. Right. And I got a wire from Jack, and he says, you wouldn't listen to me, would you?
I was nominated for 4 or 6. He was nominated for 8. Won all of them. I lost all of them. And I told him not to go into television.
Well, that's the penalty of being a Gentile, Jack.
Well, anyway.
That I don't understand at all. I don't
either. Somehow I feel that was aimed at me, but anyway. I have
some of my best friends.
Oh, I'm sure.
But anyway, the amazing development out of the Bilko show, we can't go into that. I mean, we were canceled at our height, incidentally.
That's a mystery that remains.
It got very expensive. No, Neil Simon was one of our writers.
Yeah.
I think, I'm pretty good ad-lib. I think the funniest line I ever said on an Emmy Award thing, it just happened to be, I was the presenter at that moment, and it said, best writing for a television series. This is in our 4th year. So-and-so, the Phil Silvers Show. And on walked 20 writers. I knew them all, of course.
Yeah.
And I gave each an Emmy, and when I got to, I think it was Neil Simon, I handed him his award, and I said, I don't believe we've met. But
a lot of great people came out of this.
The greatest of all, out of them, the Army put a man with us, a lieutenant, or a captain, I forget. He was a big fellow, and his purpose was to see that we didn't break Army protocol. Like, they asked me, please don't mingle with brass. Lieutenants and officers. And if you'll notice, whenever I rooked anybody, it was somebody big. It was never a rookie. And this man was there to see we got our equipment. I'm saving his name for the punch. Okay. And I said to him one day, are you going to stay in the Army? Because he was always on the set. You know, there was an evaluation from the Pentagon that while we were on, the enlistments trebled. Not the draftees, but enlistments. They thought this was Army. We trapped more poor souls thinking that this is the way the Army went. Well, anyway, he was there. He got us a tank when we needed it and anything. And I said, look, are you going to stay in the Army? He said, no. I said, well, you're here every day. Why don't you get a screen actor's card, and we'll give you a bit once in a while. Yeah. A big strapping fella. And he said, yeah, I'll do it. Fade in, fade out. He's won the Academy Award, and he's up again this year. George
Kennedy?
George Kennedy. And he always says it when he's
I had a surprise for you. When I was making rounds as a starving actor, one day they called up and they said, can you be over to the Bilko thing? And I did. I came in, and I got to sit in that scene. It was called Bilko's Godson, that episode. I had no lines, but I tapped my pencil on the desk thinking that would call attention to me.
Get even. I don't want anything for this show.
You don't want anything for this?
For this show, no.
You can have what
I'll take his.
was a pleasure.
Giving us this section of your life,
I'm
this
going to
slice of
do
your life.
90 minutes on the CBS show 60 Minutes in a little while.
Laugh along with classic TV's most intelligent talk, The Dick Cavett Show.
I've always wanted to say,
This 4-DVD collection features insightful conversations with some of the most renowned comedians of our time.
They did that to me one time. The 82nd Airborne Troopers put a bomb under the stage in 1943 in Africa. Just to see my reaction, I jumped 4 feet right into a colonel's arms. We're married now.
I'll tell you the kind of life insurance I got. When I go, they go. That gives
The Dick Cavett Show Comic Legends features episodes with Woody Allen, Lucille Ball, Jack Benny, Carol Burnett, Mel Brooks, George Burns, Bill Cosby, Bob Hope, Jerry Lewis, Groucho Marx, and the Smothers Brothers.
What do you call it? Is there a scientific word for it?
drunk.
12 historic episodes, plus new introductions, and an in-depth interview with Cavett are now available on this 4-DVD set.
Will you consider this an engagement?
Yes, positive.
The Dick Cavett Show, Comic Legends from Shout Factory.